Hey guys, welcome to today and welcome to today's video. Caleb is upstairs right now with Nova in her bedroom and they're playing. So you might hear some like giggles and laughter or maybe screams, I don't know, throughout this, so I apologize for that. Today I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about being 1 year postpartum and more specifically about dealing with endometriosis 1 year after having a baby, after pregnancy, and everything that goes with that. I'm very grateful to be partnering in today's video with Natracare. They are a period product company that I genuinely have been using ever since Nova was born. I use them postpartum and still use them today, and I really love them, and so I'm excited to share them with you guys today. They are actually the first period product company to officially become an endo-friendly employer, which is so amazing and so great. But I'll talk a bit more about them in just a minute. So I actually started getting my periods back at 5 months postpartum around, and I was still breastfeeding at the time, so I remember being like, what is this? But yeah, that was just the cards I was dealt with. So I've had my period back again for over half a year. So I'm starting to kind of see what it's like as being someone who has endometriosis, but also dealing with it after going through pregnancy and everything, and seeing what about it has changed since before baby. For example, the length of my period seems to be a lot longer than it used to be. My cycles themselves have changed. They used to be very consistently like a certain amount of days, and now they seem to be a little bit longer. But the main thing that seems to be the same is that I experience about 2 days where my symptoms are the worst, where it's the heaviest, and I'm dealing with the most pain from my endometriosis and from the cramping. So being able to have a quote-unquote break from my endo symptoms during pregnancy was pretty nice. I won't lie. It was, yeah, I guess I had over a year where I didn't have any periods. For me, my endo symptoms come predominantly during my period, so that was a big thing for me to get that kind of break. Like, it was really definitely very nice, along with all the other beautiful things that pregnancy brought. Of course, it also brought all of these difficult things like other symptoms, but as for endo goes, it was nice to have that break. Having my periods back now, like I said, I do seem to have similar symptoms that I did before, albeit just a little bit different, and it can be pretty debilitating at times. I do feel like right now the symptoms that I have are less severe than they were even a couple years ago, so I'm definitely grateful for that, and it's something that I'm trying to be proactive on and keep an eye on. And that comes to play with like the period products that I'm using. So when I first had Nova and I was postpartum, I had stocked up on products. They're mostly all the conventional brands that you find just at whatever store. And I found after several days, after a couple of weeks of using them, that I just wasn't comfortable. It just didn't feel quite right, and that I felt like this urge to send Caleb to the store to get me something more natural, something that would like feel good on my body, on my healing body, and just help the process along. And that's when he actually came home with Natracare. I remember him FaceTiming me at the natural drugstore and showing me the options, and I picked Natracare, and he brought home a bunch of boxes, and I used those there on out because they made a huge difference. So they sent me a few of their products to show you guys. This is what the box looks like. This right here is panty liners. They're all organic cotton, which is it honestly makes such a difference. These are the pads. The pads is what I predominantly used, especially postpartum, of course. These are their cotton tampons, and they also sent some wipes. So all of their products are actually plastic-free, chlorine-free, and perfume-free. So the big thing is that using these natural and chemical-free period products may actually help reduce symptoms, endo symptoms, because they don't have any inflammatory ingredients, which is something that you don't really think about. Like, you're just using a product because that's what you know, and you don't really think about how that could be affecting you. So you can buy these products at Whole Foods. They have them at other health food stores. You can even get them online on Amazon, the US Amazon and the Canadian Amazon. And I will have a link in the description box for you to go check them out, of course. But yeah, I'm honestly a big advocate for Natracare. I love them. I genuinely use them in my home. And if you're an endo warrior like me, I think it's worth a try. So endometriosis has always had a huge effect on my life. Of course, the biggest one all of you guys know has been infertility, and it's also affected so many other aspects, like being a wife and now being a new mom. And some of those things relate back to dealing with the symptoms and the pain of things and how that might affect my day or might debilitate me in a way. I'm very grateful to have such an understanding and compassionate husband that I do in Caleb, and so he, especially over the years, he's definitely very understanding when I'm dealing with some of these symptoms, and is so good at like warming up my heat pack for me and little things like that have really helped me along the way. But this new venture of being a new mom and being a mom to a busy, growing 1-year-old and also dealing with endometriosis at the same time is new for me. Again, I'm grateful at this time to not be experiencing too many intense symptoms like I used to, but I know that sometimes it might mean giving yourself grace for a day. If you're on one of your like painful days, maybe that looks like just staying in your pajamas all day and just keeping it really simple for the day as a mom, not putting so much pressure on yourself to get ABC done, and just that self-care that we all know is really important. Right now I work from home, so of course I have flexibility with my schedule, with taking some time for myself if I need to, that kind of thing. But I remember before being in a more traditional job and not feeling like I could come to my employer and tell them, you know, this is what's going on and I'm dealing with pain these days. And some of the big ways that have helped me cope with my endometriosis over the years is talking about it. I choose to talk about it online and on this platform, but of course you don't have to do that. If you could find someone that you trust, that you think could support you in this, I think talking about it and just having someone in your corner is so amazing. Maybe joining like a Facebook group or a online forum or something that is specific towards endometriosis, and you can find people who know what you're going through and have similar stories, similar experiences. There's such a beautiful power in community and in understanding that you aren't alone in what you're going through. The other thing is becoming more informative. I'm always learning and always trying to understand endometriosis a little bit better. So it's still something I'm working on, and I'm definitely not perfect at it, but gaining that knowledge I think is super powerful as well. And speaking to that, if you can advocate for yourself with your doctors and push forward if you feel like you need help in some way or you feel like you're not being listened to, just advocating for yourself I find is something that helps me cope as well. And then of course for the physical aspect of things, just giving myself grace, like I said, on days where I just need it and I need to just take it easy. And heat pads, heat pads, heat pads, heat pads. Have a couple in your house, use them because they really help. So again, I will leave a link down in the description box for you guys to check out Natracare, check out their products, and make the switch to just a more natural and chemical-free option. And you can also follow their social media right here. And like I said, also find them in stores and on Amazon and stuff. So thank you again, Natracare, for partnering with me today. If you are dealing with endometriosis, let me know in the comments below. Tell me a bit about your story. If you are also postpartum or have had a baby in the past, did you notice a difference in your symptoms from pre-pregnancy to post? Let me know. I always love to talk to you guys, especially when it comes to endometriosis. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.